Hello members, it's Seamus, your Whisky Club Byron Ambassador, and I'm here today to kind of celebrate the end of what's been an enormous year, and we're celebrating with what very much feels like a grand finale. It's the Starward Cognac Cask, and it's almost fitting that we're ending on a cognac cask because we also started the year on a cognac cask, and it was the 26-year-old Glenfiddich. So as we get into these whiskies, I thought it'd be a great chance to talk a little bit about this whiskey and a little bit about cognac casks in general. Now, the Starward Distillery were amazing to work with on this release. And what we kind of found the whole way through working with them was it was this opportunity to look for the best casks in the industry. And with Starward, it was an opportunity to find what really was the creme de la creme of whiskey casks, cognac casks. And it's something we haven't seen enough of. So the only times we've really seen them at the Whisky Club are in things like the Glenfiddich, where we had a 26-year-old single malt and brought that to life with a little zest of cognac cask. And really, that's built on this whiskey to give it this really bright, fruity characteristic that gives it this decadent, layered complexity that you really only see in cognac. And it's this big richness that kind of attributes cognac, and it's almost what we were looking for in all of these other whiskies. So the Glenlivet's another one where we did a lot of work with cognac casks, and this is from a few years back, and this has really given it this big berries and cream characteristic on the nose, and it should follow through on the palate really nicely. And again, the cognac's adding this layer to what is already a really bright, fruity Glenlivet characteristic to create these chewy layers. And the Starward's no exception to this rule, and even from the initial samples we saw from the distillery, what became immediately apparent was how much cognac cask influence we're getting. And just, it's pouring out of the glass there, this limousine oak, this big, rich, decadent character. It's coming off like Jersey caramels, like this dark chocolate. And on the palate, that really follows through. So we decided to bottle at 48% with the distillery, and that's really bringing all that cognac character all the way through on the palate, and it's sitting on the back. And it's this big, rich, decadent characteristic that's just, if I was picking favorites, which I very much shouldn't be, I might be picking this one. Couldn't be prouder of this release, and I just want to say a massive cheers for the club. But importantly, we are also going into the holiday season, so while we're rounding out the year with this spectacular whiskey, it does feel like a perfect opportunity to reflect and say thank you for an amazing 2022 from all of us here at the Whisky Club. Cheers. Really enjoying just sitting here drinking this whiskey, Nige.
You don't need an excuse.
It might be the best one by a mile, and there's a 26-year-old in front of us.
I know, right?